Lead us in prayer, please.
Sure. Lord, we're so thankful for this day and many blessings. We're so thankful, Lord, that you take care of our students, our employees, and we pray that you keep that protected dog over us and go through the summer and come back safely in the fall. Lord, we just ask that you continue to be with this board and our decisions. We make decisions that affect us years to come. We pray, Lord, that every decision we make will be within your will. And we ask, Lord, that everything we do and say will be pleasing unto you. We ask all these things in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. You'll stand for the pledge.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to the board meeting. We're glad to have you here. We've already had our letters of commendation. Now it's time to approve the minutes from May 8th and May 18th. Do I hear a motion?
I move we approve the minutes from May 8th and May 18th.
A motion by Mr. Christenberry, a second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussions of the minutes? All in favor, say aye. Of the motion.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve them. Okay, and we have several people that have signed up to speak to us tonight. First on the list is Mr. Presley. Yes. And when you come up, if you will, just keep in mind we have 3 minutes because we are kind of got a lot of people here. And if you will, if you have any person that you want to speak up, please just not use names because they're not here to protect themselves or defend themselves. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Ross Presley. I'm from Perdita, Alabama, and Mike Johnson's District 1. And I was registering my kids for school today, and I got to a section in the registration. I wanted to ask the school board this question of why, and it may be for a reason, but on the section of have you ever traveled in and out of Alabama to find work, in the pictures below, talking about farming industry, timber industry, nursery, and et cetera. And then also, the second question is, are you and your spouse currently working in agriculture, farming, fishing, or any pictures below, which describes them scenarios? And my question is, I want you to explain to me why, is there a reason of why these questions are asked? Is it for legalization in the county of migrants, or is it just trying to get an explanation of why, you know, they're talking about planting gardens, nursery, harvesting timber, you know, having cows, chickens, just trying to get the explanation of why that's on the registration forms for this upcoming year.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Fresh. We'll have either Sarah and David talk to that.
So when a parent is registering a student, the Alabama State Department of Education requires us to do the employment survey, and it's just a part of that. Registration process that they require us to do.
It's not something that we develop. It's
It has
from
not. No,
the State Department of Education.
State Department of Education requires it.
It's just
Employment survey.
Yeah, it's the employment survey that's through the Power School registration process, and I do believe it's to identify ESL and migratory workers. And they put it in picture form. They ask you to click if you work in any of the following, and they have it in picture form. And my guess is because Spanish speaking, you know, they put the pictures up in order for them to be able to click what they're doing.
Not that particular thing, but something else in there. And I asked Jackie Ziegler about it, and I said, what is it? And she said, I don't know, I'll find out. She said, I'll ask Dr. Mackey. She asked Dr. Mackey. She came back and she said, he said it's not the state of Alabama. But it clearly says on there the state of Alabama.
It is the state of Alabama.
But he said it's not the state of Alabama, so you tell me. I don't understand it. State Department, yeah, that's Mackey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Mackey. Yeah. And he said he didn't know he wasn't Alabama. That's what it has on it.
Right.
Mr. Presley, I can tell you, to my knowledge, and I'm supposed to be responsible, there, at no time we develop as a system any kind of questions like that to question parents about farming or timbering or anything like that, the chickens and everything else. So when I learned about that, I immediately called to find out what this was all about. They did some research and looked into it, and I think one thing was said that how many acres of timber do you farm? On the farm, they can't really find where it says how, maybe do you do timber or farm timber, but it doesn't say anything about how many acres. So I just want to let you know that thank you for bringing that up, but that's not something we as a school system has developed. And that lies with the state of Alabama, State Department of Education. Why the answer that was given that Mr. Meyer got, that Dr. Mackey, who's the head of the State Department of Education, said that they didn't do that. I guess I can call and find out what's going on with that, because if they're just laying it out there to school systems to try to explain it to their citizens, constituents, that's wrong. They need to provide that explanation.
What's the consequences if you decide you're not going to answer those questions? Do you have to?
The answer, the questions aren't required to be answered, but I mean, as far as the data quality, there are no checking on that, I don't believe.
The reason I asked is fine line, start getting in folks' business like that. I don't want folks to know that I farm, and if I did timber harvest or farming or do my own cattle and chickens, I wouldn't want to stay with the county doing that.
And a parent can always just, you can always just click no, and you're still gonna get your goal. You have to provide an answer, but you don't have to.
So you're
Find the correct one.
suggesting lie, counselor?
We have to still enroll the children. Yeah, we're gonna enroll the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to affect your enrollment, so, but thank you for bringing that up. I wouldn't want people to ask me about that either, so,
I didn't
Thank
put it
you.
on there.
Okay, I think we have a group of 3 people here about the Hope community, if I'm correct, and that would be Clarice Hall Black, Rebecca Dunn Bryan, and Sean Graham. And as my understanding is that one will be speaking on behalf of all for 9 minutes, which would take up 3 minutes each. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay.
Hey, thank you very much.
So we're all 3 speaking.
Oh, you all 3 speaking?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you got 3 minutes
We're just going to
apiece?
step away when it's.
Okay, okay. I just thought it would be 1 for 9, but
They're gonna just run the timer 3 minutes.
3 minutes time.
Another 3 minutes.
Okay, just be cognizant of your time. Okay. Okay, go right ahead.
My name is Clarice Hall Black. I'm a director of Hope Community, a 20-year retired Air Force veteran, and a 5th-generation Houston, Hankins, and Wilson family member from the Twin Beach community. I am here today as part of Hope Community, a nonprofit dedicated to nurturing unity and human rights through relationships and education. Hope Community has been culminated from a diverse group of individuals. We as a group want more for the community and the surrounding areas. Our vision is to preserve and Our vision is preservation and modernization of the Anna T. Jean School property located in South Fairhope. We want to create a community hub that enriches the life of its residents through education and career training. We believe we can transform and transcend our citizens with a cultural museum that showcases African American history and art, a modern community center that has outdoor events, meeting spaces, and healthy living classes, and a teaching farm with commercial kitchen that would incorporate a community garden, farm stand, after-school clubs, cooking classes, and a means of learning healthy living through food. The only school named after Anna T. Jean's was originally located at the corner of Bell Road and Section Street. This parcel was owned by Mike Houston, but unfortunately was set ablaze and is currently the City of Fairhope's landfill. The school was reconstructed on the Hankins sugarcane field at the corner of Section Street and Twin Beach Road. These properties were purchased from the founding African-American families for the betterment of the children in a community of this area, and our goal is to revive that dream and make it into a reality, teaching skills that can truly uplift our local people and economy here in Baldwin County. Hope Community is not trying to recreate the wheel. We have been collaborating with Jones Valley Teaching Farm in Birmingham to model our project after their successful teaching farm. The stats from the Jones Valley Teaching Farm impact are a small glimpse into what Baldwin County numbers could resemble. If Birmingham can do it, then Baldwin County can take the notes and do it better. We, the members of Hope Community, believe we have an incredible purpose for this Anna T. Jeans property that not only preserves open land for community use, which is sorely absent in the South Fairhope community, but also preserve the African-American story of the people that originally settled this area as free people with thriving businesses and community.
I'm sorry you can't all see the handouts we provided. I hope you'll share. Okay, thanks. Some of the fondest memories I've heard about the Anna T. Jeans School since working with Hope Community are not actually about the school at all. They're memories of May Day celebrations and fall festivals, times when the community came together on the site. And that's an important function that our school facilities provide for their communities. They're both a public gathering space and kind of a community hub. Once you get south of Fairhope city limits, there are some world-class private amenities like the Grand Hotel, but the community is really underserved in terms of public amenities and green space where people can come together to learn, play, work, and celebrate. So as we developed the vision for that Clarice laid out into a physical site plan, we've tried to place equal emphasis on both indoor and outdoor spaces for education and community events, and that's the loose sheet in your booklet. So when you turn to it, there's three main built elements that we're proposing for this master plan. A is the revitalized historic Anna T. Jeans School as a community center and office. B is a new modern teaching kitchen and laboratory, teaching lab. C is an outdoor classroom for farm work and events. We want the buildings to embody the same resilience and self-reliance as the community that built the Anna T. Jeans School to teach their children. These will be living buildings demonstrating leading-edge, healthy, high-performance design. The buildings will open to the new teaching farm and theme gardens that can serve as living laboratories that we'd love to talk more about. We also propose a network of trails weaving together the site, a quarter-mile cultural heritage trail that would link the sidewalks on Section Street and Twin Beach, teaching about the history of the community and the school, a quarter-mile wellness trail with exercise stations, and a half-mile nature exploration trail through the wooded gully. The City of Fairhope is committed to build a splash pad on the site, which we envision adjacent to that natural bowl-shaped amphitheater that would provide a boundary to the splash and play areas. We see so much potential for great programming for this to become an educational asset for Baldwin County school kids as well as a community amenity. It is now 1 year into the 2-year lease to Hope Community of this property, and the organization has been really busy cleaning up the site, developing this vision into a real plan, and building organizational capacity and fundraising. As we've done this work, it's become clear that in order to realize this vision, we'll need to secure longer-term access to the site. And with that, I'll turn it over to Sean.
Thank you. So write this number down. First of all, I'm Sean Graham, president of Hope Community, one of the founders as well, lifelong Fairhope resident, 5th generation Baldwin County kid. So write this number down if you can. If you have a pen, I'd like you to write it down, but 4760. 4760 is the number of children in Baldwin County that suffer from food insecurity. 4,760, okay? And if you look at Baldwin County as a whole, just with students, 12% of our students suffer from food insecurity. Now, that may not be your child or our child or my child, but that is your child's friend. right? That is somebody that may be a neighbor. So that's really one of the core reasons why we want to exist here. This is a community involvement. So if you can turn to the community collaboration piece, which is kind of in the middle there, you can kind of follow along with what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. This isn't just a group of people, folks. This is business. We've been working on this for over a year and a half, talking to businesses, talking to city leaders, right? Talking to county leaders like yourself, really to even develop this plan, which is a community plan. If you look at it again, there's some specific folks. USA Health, I want to send a shout out to them. They've been a great help. City of Fairhope has been a fantastic help as well. The MAP Foundation, we got several other private foundations and major donors. And in fact, to the standpoint that we've had an opportunity to do a fundraiser in May, we had really aggressive goals because really we've always done things just as a group of individuals, about 300 membership base of Hope Community throughout the county. But we hit our goal by 115% just for May. And that was 57 individual contributors that did that. We're proud of that, excited about that. But really, while we're here is what is the impact to Baldwin County, right? So I feel like you're doing some great things already. You partnered with us. We're very grateful for that partnership. And there's an opportunity to really get an impact to the county. So preserve history, address the food insecurity challenges that we have, reduce crime. You should look at the numbers when there's a food and a farm engaged with students, the reduction in crime, right? So we want to do that. We want to reduce chronic disease and illnesses. But most importantly, I think this is an opportunity for you to do one of three things. And that's what our ask is tonight. Will you actually either help us by extending our lease for 20 years, right? Or there's an option or an opportunity for you to donate the land to us, or we can set up some sort of facilitation for the land to be purchased so that we can take this to the next level and think big. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and sharing your vision with us. That property's known it quite well for many years, passing on Twin Beach and down there when the old alternative school was there years ago. And it is a nice piece of property. I know some of your questions can be answered. I'm not sure if you want us to get back with you on some of those requests, because we have to look at how it's titled, what hoops you would go through, we would go through.
Right.
And, so.
Yeah, we didn't think we could solve all the problems tonight, but we wanted to throw the questions out there and what we're requesting, and if we could just get some sense of direction, internally with you all, who we would talk to. Because again, you've been great partners. We've talked to everybody and also commended your partnership with it, so thank you.
Well, I think the mission is a very valuable, noble mission, because it is all about children.
Yep.
And it's about community. And we'll take what you have here, and I will get with those on staff that can provide some guidance. I'll get with our board attorney. We'll see where we are in your request and how we can move forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, we have one more speaker, Miss Mary Pilcher.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of Shakita Billings, and she has been proposed for termination. She is a non-tenured probationary classified employee and worked as a custodian in the PAC building. And I don't really know the reasons why the school board has proposed to tell her, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not required to be told, or nor is Ms. Billings, because she's kind of an at-will employee. But what I will say is we know that she was hired about 9 months ago, that she did a really good job. I think if you look at her personnel file, you will see that there is not one single write-up until they put her on administrative leave in May 15th of 2023. What we also know is that she was just one custodian there and did the whole 2 floors that she was responsible for, and did a good job. When they finally hired somebody sometime in February, we also know that what happened during that period of time is she was out, her name was Ashley Witherington, and she was out a couple of days a week for medical reasons, and she would perform her duties. And then the next thing that happened is somebody accused her of stealing their wedding ring, and it was Miss Karen Daniels, who works with Hope Xenia. And she went and complained and said it made her feel uncomfortable, and Miss Billings will tell you that life changed for her at that point. And she's been accused of a lot of things that if you read her interview, you will see that she has denied saying or doing those things.
Mary, just one comment. Don't mention anybody's names, okay? If you
Do what now?
mention anyone's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, she says it's personal, that she's done a good job. She loves working for Baldwin County. She would really like for y'all to look at the reasons why she's terminated, because they do not believe, she doesn't believe they're accurate. You know, one of the reasons is that somebody actually claimed she was bullying, but I guarantee you will not find a statement. In fact, she refused to say it, and I have text messages where her and Miss Billings had a really good relationship. They talked about her being ill. So if she was bullying someone, then that needs to be addressed and investigated properly. And that's what we're asking the board to take the time to do before they terminate Miss Billings' employment. She likes working there. She wants to work there. She doesn't mind transferring to another school if that's what's needed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
All right. Now the minutes to the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Amendments to the agenda. Amend number 8, leave of absence of personnel. Number 9, retirement and resignation of personnel. Number 10, transfer, intent to transfer of personnel. Number 11, employment of personnel. Number 12, extra work for extended periods. Add number 13, termination of temporary and/or probationary classified personnel. Number 14, dissemination of 2023-2024 salary schedule amended.
All right, motion to approve the amendments.
I move we amend the agenda.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Christenberry and a second by Ms. Bradley. Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amendments are approved.
Agenda item 1, budget amendment number 2, fiscal year 2023. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to authorize the board president and superintendent to approve and submit the appropriate 2022-2023 budget amendment to the State Department of Education in order to meet the requirements of the Code of Alabama as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Myrick. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 2, bids proposals. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the low bidders meeting specifications for goods and services for the system as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
Motion by Mr. Myrick, second by Ms. Kirby. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 3, membership renewal, Alabama Council of School Board Attorneys, 2023-2024. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve to pay the cost of membership in the Alabama Council of School Board Attorneys for the 2023-2024 fiscal year as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
Motion by Ms. Bradley, second by Mr. Myrick. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 4, approval of contract Tools for Reading Sound Wall Training The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the contract for professional services as well as provide the necessary teacher and student materials for training and implementation of the tools for reading sound wall during the 2023-2024 school year as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Myrick. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 5, approval of Renaissance DNA purchase. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the purchase of Renaissance DNA access for the 2023-2024 school year as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So move.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Kirby, second by Mr. Christenberry.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 6, approval of career technical policies. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the career technical policies as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Christenberry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 7, approval of LEA parent and family engagement policy and plan, federal programs. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the 2023-2024 LEA parent and family engagement policy and plan as stipulated in the agenda exhibit.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Christenberry and second by Ms. Bradley. Any discussion?
Sorry, I don't have my hearing aids in. I can't hear down at the end. If I step on somebody, I'm very sorry.
A. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 8,
There you go.
leave of absence of personnel. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the leaves of absence of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Christenberry, second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 9, retirement and resignations of personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the retirement and resignations of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Well, we had two motions, but anyway.
Okay.
We're going to give it to Ms. Bradley. Motion by Ms. Bradley and second by Mr. Myrick. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 10, transfer intent to transfer personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the transfer intent to transfer personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So moved.
Yay. All right. Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Bradley. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 11, employment of personnel. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the employment of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
So move.
All right, we'll do motion by Mr. Christenberry and second by Mr. Warner. I mean, not Mr. Warner, by Mr. Myrick, excuse me.
That was Johnson.
Oh, it was Johnson? Okay, see, I'm getting confused now. All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay.
Okay, all right, so motion carries. Thank you.
Agenda item 12, extra work for extended periods. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the extra work of personnel as amended and provided to board members under separate cover.
Motion by Ms. Kirby, second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion?
I'm going
Okay. Recognized. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 13, termination of temporary and/or probationary classified personnel. Superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the termination of classified personnel in accordance with Act Number 2011-270, Students First Act, as provided to board members under separate cover.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Christenberry. Any discussion?
Did we ask any questions? Okay. Got it? She said she was gonna written up, is that true?
Never written up.
That's what she said?
She said if you look at her personnel file, there's no write-ups on there until the last May 15th.
I think if you look at her personnel file, you'll find that HR investigated the concerns and found that they were corroborated.
It's okay.
So she was written up or not?
She had several write-ups in her personnel file, correct, Angie, where she was redirected and told regarding things that she was saying that were inappropriate. If you would like to go to the executive session to discuss the name and character, we can talk about all the details. If you need that information.
Okay, any other questions?
Mr. Meyer, did you get it? Did you get the answer?
I mean, yeah, I asked.
Right.
Yeah, out here, yeah. Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 14, dissemination of 2023-2024 salary schedule. The superintendent recommends adoption of a motion to approve the dissemination of the 2023-2024 salary schedule to local schools and organizations for input as amended and stipulated in agenda exhibit.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Bradley. Any discussion?
I do have some questions because we got some text saying the numbers and stuff were wrong. Are we supposed to vote on this if we don't know if the numbers are
You're just
accurate?
voting to disseminate it for the next few weeks.
So we're sending it out?
Yes, yes, you're voting so that once it's approved for dissemination, Louise sends an email to all the respective parties, and it starts the discussion period among all the employees.
So then when do we come back and have to say we are going with the salaries?
It'll be on the next board meeting,
So it's
July 6th.
Okay, so, okay, that's what I needed to know. So we're just voting on whether we send out the information to the new salary schedule based on what the state has required along with what we did to try to adjust things.
Correct, correct.
You know, we always have to, anything that y'all vote on that's policy, we always have to disseminate it first, and we will confirm with Ms. King, and go over any of their concerns and information and feedback they've received from their employees.
Correct, and then in July, we vote to implement the salary schedule if it's approved.
Correct.
Any more questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second? Guess maybe I can't. Thank you, everyone.